Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Nick Shamsard and I'm a sales engineer with Ment, and today's focus is going to be on malicious packages. As our consumption of open source continues and shows no sign of stopping, malicious packages are becoming a larger and larger topic, a field of discussion that we're looking at as it pertains to risk around open source packages. Now, malicious packages differ from traditional vulnerabilities in that they're malicious by intent. They're not necessarily always dormant. And as a result, we need to know about them with just as much urgency, if not more. The Mend malicious package detection engine constantly monitors package repositories for new packages and releases. And those releases are scanned immediately after they're posted to the package registry. There are dozens of tests performed to assess the likelihood of the package being malicious and to flag it accordingly. What we're going to do in today's session is we're going to briefly look at an article on the Ment website, highlighting the increased attack rate for malicious packages. And then we're going to look at the open source package that's malicious in question, in this case, Faker. There's a bit of a story behind it, which makes it interesting. And then we're going to dig into the Ment for GitHub repository integration and show you how that alerts us in this particular instance to a malicious package being introduced by a PR that we generate. So you join me on the Ment website. As we can see here, an article that was published earlier this year about malicious packages and their spike in attacks. And we can just see some background information about how these bad actors are actually exploiting these vulnerabilities via malicious packages. Of course, our advice is going to be to prevent these malicious packages from being introduced in the first place, and the Ment malicious package detection solution provides that for you, giving you that level of coverage. Now, the library in question that we're looking at is Faker, and there's a whole load of articles out there about what actually happened to the Faker project. I'll let you read those in your own time, but ultimately Faker at one point was a legitimate open source package that provided test data for systems for organizations to test on. And at one point, the developer decided he no longer wanted it to be open source or maintained for free. And in the version 666, aptly named, decided that he would then make it a malicious package. Now, I should stress since then, the project has been taken on by another organization, a group of people who are maintaining it as an open source project. So it's just this specific version as far as we're aware at this moment in time. So now we're in GitHub. We can see we've got a node package that's in here. We've got the Ment for GitHub integration running. And if I go to the Redex, you see the Ment security check has failed. And if I was to check it, we would see these vulnerabilities are traditional CVEs. If I go to my issues tab, again, no issue has been raised for Faker to describe or to alert me to the fact that there is a malicious package that sits in here. But what I've done is I'm currently on version 5.5.3, and I would like to go to version 666. It's the next update in the path. And I've decided that in our workflow, this is the next version that we want to go to. So I'll go to my pull requests. And as we can see, as part of the Ment offering, the security checks are running on the vulnerabilities. So I go to my pull requests. And as we can see, as part of the Ment offering, the security checks that are running on these PRs. Now, the 5 PRs raised to update to the latest version of the components. One of them has failed, which happens to be Faker. Fantastic. Now we know it's a malicious package. However, a developer may or may not know this. You can see even going from 553 to 666, the merge confidence is giving a bit of a sign that it's not a safe package for us to go to. As a result of ultimately the low confidence, low passing, poor adoption rating, there are the signs that are starting to develop that this is not necessarily a package that we should go to. However, it's Faker. We've been using it for years. Maybe it's because it's a year old. I don't know. The next step is I've got a branch protection rule. And this is really key, because when the Mend security check is selected in the branch protection rule, it's required. So it must pass before you're able to actually merge this pull request. Let's go to the details to see why this Mend security check has failed. Lo and behold, there's a malicious package. So Faker 666 has been identified, and it's a malicious package. If you're wondering why it's a malicious package, you have two arenas that you can go into. The first is the issue that Mend creates, and we can see MSC, the values, and then the detail itself, for example, here. Essentially, we've identified it as a malicious package, and then you can read about the functionality and where and how it's malicious as such. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that there's no remediation available. And that is primarily because remediation advice as it pertains to malicious packages are to downgrade or to revert, remove or replace the dependency. And of course, it's always recommended to pin dependencies so you don't actually use malicious packages. The other way that we can actually view these vulnerabilities themselves, if they occur, let's say ad hoc, view them in the Mend dashboard as well. So at the top here, we have a banner about malicious package vulnerability. And we also have an element here that says what is a malicious vulnerability. I'm able to click on that and view the vulnerability itself as well. Of course, the benefit of the Mend security scan on the PR is that I've not actually introduced this malicious package into my release cycle yet. It stopped before it's actually got into anything and caused any real damage. I hope today's video has given you a good insight into what a malicious package is, how it can or may affect you, and how the Mend solution for detecting malicious packages and its seamless integration can help aid organization be safe. My name is Nick Shamshad. Thank you for viewing this video.